Hello, Boston Movie Review. Timothy McClaskey here with
Chris Justice.
And we just finished watching The King of Staten Island.
Yeah, King of Staten Island.
Chris, how much of your favorite movie was this?
I wanted to really like this movie, and it wasn't even close to anywhere near my favorite movie. It would actually let me down a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm in the same boat. Like, I didn't like Pete Davidson going into this,
Right.
but I love Bill Burr and Marissa Tomei, so I thought that this was going to be a slam dunk.
I love Buscemi too, and that guy from The Wire was in it, which for some reason they gave him as many lines as they gave me in that movie.
I
don't
guess
understand.
he was in it.
He was in The Wire. They were like, "Hey, just stand in the background, be a fireman. We're not even going to talk to you." And
quick synopsis, right?
Yeah.
So Pete Davidson, it's a half biographical thing. His father died in 9/11 in real life, and in the movie, his father died as a fireman, but not during 9/11.
And like a tragic fire.
Yeah, widows his mother. He has a younger sister, and he has completely stunted his development in life. He's
100%.
arrested development. He's 24, 26?
20, something like. He's 24, I think. Yeah.
And he's a fuck up. He lives at home, doesn't have a job. He just does drugs, and you would think that would be kind of funny, right? You would think that would be funny. It's not funny at all.
No, and I don't know. It just there was at least 5 or 6 scenes that were completely unnecessary. I felt like the first 35 minutes of this movie could have been done in 12. I don't know why there was these. I don't know. It felt like it could have been a great movie, and to me, it was a huge disappointment. I don't know why everyone's saying it's Judd Apatow's best movie. I'm assuming they never saw Superbad or.
I think you pointed out that the beginning of the movie doesn't need to be there, and I think that's the problem with the movie, is that the movie is about the wrong thing. It's about Pete Davidson, who's like a completely irredeemable character. He's not likable in this.
Yeah, you're
he
right.
doesn't have an arc where he changes at the end. And the real story is Marissa Tomei dealing with her husband dying in 9/11. I would
100%.
rather see a widowed mother dealing with a piece of shit kid that can't get his shit together, 100%. Trying to find love with Bill Burr. All the scenes with them were great.
Right.
And then you just cut to Pete Davidson boxing at a restaurant, and it's not funny.
Yeah, no, it really wasn't. And I feel like that's what I was saying to you. I feel like some of the scenes they did just so Pete Davidson could do one of his jokes. They were like, "Hey, I want to do this joke, so let's just do a scene where I can work it in."
I believe he wrote it. So I believe they wrote it together, him and them. So every time they had something that they thought was clever in a writer's meeting, they put it in the movie, whether or not it fit within the context of the film.
Didn't love it. I liked Bill Burr. Marissa Tomei was good. Steve Buscemi's one of my favorite actors. They were like, "Hey, you used to be a New York fireman. We're going to have this movie about a fireman. We're not going to really even have you in the movie. You're a legendary actor. Let's not have you do much, though." I don't understand. It could have been me as his part. It made no sense.
So,
why have him in there?
You have these high-level actors that you could have given more scenes to, but instead you cut to a minute-and-a-half singing of Sweet Caroline or One Headlight because it's just sugar. It's saccharine. It's garbage.
Honestly, almost every scene with his friends was unnecessary. He could have just not had any of those scenes in, and I'm like, I could have still got the movie. You could have done a montage of his life, and I would have got the same perspective.
I never felt sympathy for him. I felt like he was milking a tragedy versus dealing with one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess I didn't even think of that. I actually didn't. I didn't really like Pete Davidson going into it, and this made me actually like him a little more. I don't know what that says about me, and I hated the movie, so I don't...
Because most of people's probably perception of him is from the headlines and the dating Ariana Grande and all that stupid
My
shit.
kids know who he is, which is, I don't know how. They don't even know any other stand-up comedian.
But I think that's the only thing really putting success behind this movie is this outside influence of it. This isn't a story about 9/11. They don't even... It's not... The death has nothing to do with 9/11.
Right.
I guarantee you heard the words 9/11 300 times when, the promotion of this movie came out and when they were talking about it in interviews.
Yeah,
this is a real thing to talk about
no, it's true.
And to build around it. It should have been Bill Burr going to the fire station and talking to those guys and I had more fun in those scenes than when Pete Davidson is smoking pot and they're trying to guess what millennial dialogue sounds like. It was stupid.
Yeah, no, that was like I said, wasn't a huge fan of this movie.
I think the movie's, how would you say, 30 minutes too long, 20 minutes too long?
At least 30 minutes too long. I mean, it's
2
hours and 17 minutes, and I can't see how that thing couldn't have been an hour and that should have been an hour and 45 minutes tops.
We're doing spoilers now, okay? So from this point on, we're going to say spoilers here, if you haven't seen the movie.
Yeah, I guess what you said, the only thing he really overcomes, and this is a spoiler, I guess, is he helped someone study for a test. I mean, I don't know. At the end of the day, like, she asked him to help, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna help you with this. I'm gonna really do it." And she doesn't believe. I mean, it just
There's no arc for the main character.
No.
The inciting incident of how our characters meet, is that Pete Davidson's in the woods and finds an 11-year-old kid that he decides to tattoo, and that's the inciting incident is how this whole thing comes. And then after Bill Burr meets the wife that raised some kid that would tattoo an 11-year-old, he's like, "Oh, I should go date that woman."
Right? Yeah, it was kind of weird.
That was before he knew that she was a fireman's ex. Like,
Yeah, I thought
none of these things.
Yeah, actually, these are spoilers, so I guess.
All this will come after in the video.
I thought it was weird when he showed up at the door and didn't know that it was the fireman's wife. Like, I thought that's what he was gonna say.
Exactly.
Like, "Hey, I didn't realize
And
you were Tom's wife." Like, "Hey," and that was how they had their. And he got like, I don't know. It was
It's
weird.
shit writing, because they just said, "Oh, I thought she was pretty, and I came back to the door the next day." Instead of, your kid did something fucking horrible. We have to move Pete Davidson's character to do something. So instead of like him going to the house and painting the house or something to recoup this, and she drops him off,
Right.
and then they're talking. You have to make it happen naturally to some degree.
Yeah, no, it's true.
And then
Yeah.
then Pete can see the thing happen. Like, why are you flirting with that guy? Like, he's a fucking. He went from, "Mom, I hope you get dick all day, every day," to the next sentence, "Oh, wait, he has a job?"
Yeah.
Like, every fucking element of this movie didn't make sense to me, and I didn't like it. And maybe you just have to be on fucking huge prescriptions of Zoloft to understand the manic depression and why this was an arc for this character. I think it's stupid.
I mean, Tim's holding back, I think. But
Yeah, I'm passionate about this shit.
I didn't really like it either.
I saw the reviews online. A lot of people like it, and I don't know if
Yeah.
they just were like going into it like, "Oh, this is a
No,
Judd
a
Apatow
lot.
movie. I'll shut my brain off and
No,
shit."
I'm seeing a lot of people like it. I think we're in the minority here, so
It's,
whatever.
it's not a funny comedy, and it is not an effective drama to me. So
Boom.
I miss
That's
on both
pretty
parts.
much, that sums it up right there. I mean, that should be the tagline underneath King of Staten Island. It's not a funny comedy, and it's not an effective drama. That's all that needs to be said.
All right, Boston Movie Review.
2 stars.
Yeah. 2, yeah. It was
Yeah, why not?
2 stars. Bill Burr and Marissa Tomei. Everything
Yeah.
else sucked.
Yeah, exactly. Peace.
Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da.